Hello and welcome to Access Paranormal. My name's Jamie Williams. Joining me as usual in the studio is my co-host and good friend Jonathan Sullivan.
Hello, Jamie.
Hi, Jonathan. Well, tonight, Jonathan, we've decided, haven't we, to put a couple of cat balls out here in Mill Street. And we've got the door of the studio open, which is great for me because I can see straight down into the darkness, whereas you've got your back to it. I don't know who's in a better area, better seating, really, because you can't see and I can.
I know.
And also, the windows, it's got camouflage on it, but it's quite creepy when you look out there.
It is.
And before we've even started tonight, we've been, sorting the studio out a little bit before we started doing this. And we've had a few little odd noises around and out in the main hall there.
We have, haven't we?
So it's a good start.
Yeah.
And we'll be going down later on and doing a couple of little half an hour or so of an investigation for you.
Yeah.
So it should be good. I mean, the investigation we're doing tonight is going to be on a later show anyway, as usual.
Yeah.
But we've got a few little subjects to talk about tonight as well, haven't we?
We have, yeah. Should we give them a little preview?
Yeah, go on. What are we going to be talking about? Because you've got them down in a list and I haven't.
I have, yeah. So we're going to be talking about ghost pictures.
All right.
Which is called?
No.
Which is called?
Yeah. Okay, it's called Pareidolia. Pareidolia.
That's the one.
Couldn't think of the word then. Thanks for catching me out. Yeah.
So we'll be talking about new technology.
Yeah, if new technology is good enough to work in the paranormal world.
Yeah, and if they know what it is.
And I think I remember one of them.
Go on.
We're going to be talking a little bit later on about the ghost at Whiston Station. Now, it was a friend of ours who done that.
Yeah.
And it was only because we were flicking through YouTube, and I went, there's one we haven't seen for a while, and that's called, the Whiston Ghost at the station. It was, because when you seen the video, it was quite tense, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. What else have we got on?
What else have we got? Well, a good little subject. What if, when you're travelling alone,
oh, don't even go there.
Driving your car down the country lane.
Especially me, because I get lost. So,
I have to go down country lanes when I go home,
Yeah, it depends where obviously with lockdown, we've not been able to go far apart from here. But, I know what you're talking about there. When you're driving alone on your way home. Or even if you got, sometimes we give people lifts as well, don't we? So, Yeah. But it's still the same. Yeah.
It is, yeah.
And we've also going to be talking about, what is it? Daytime investigations.
Yeah, daytime investigations. Why can't we do them in the day? Or why don't we do them in the daytime? Some people do, don't they?
Yeah. And one thing we're doing tonight, we've got 2 investigations on.
We have.
The good thing with that is we done them. No, seriously though. If you've got headphones, plug them in.
Yeah, get them out now ready.
Yeah, because what we've done is we've done them in binaural.
Yeah.
So if you put your headphones on, like I'm going to say on quite a few times when we do this, is sit back, close your eyes, and it'll transport you into this investigation. It'll sound like you're in there with us.
Yeah.
It'll sound strange to you at first, but what you're listening on has got to be in stereo, or the audio's in stereo anyway.
Yeah.
And what we've got to say though is there could be things in it that make you jump, just to be a bit wary of it.
Yeah, there could be.
So and if you hear things and you want to, you can tell us all about them. That'd be great if you could do that.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 of them on.
We have.
First one will be coming up in about 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And then the next one will be coming up a little bit later on in the show because we've done 2 parts of it, didn't we? We did one in the classroom.
Yeah, up in the classroom.
And then the second one we done on the balcony here.
Yeah, outside the studio,
And the one in the balcony.
Well,
12 minutes in, isn't it? Just listen.
Yeah, just
twice.
Listen. Yeah.
So that's just a little bit of a taster, or a little bit of a trailer, as they say.
It is.
So it's a good night tonight. We've got a couple more things to talk about, haven't we?
A couple more bits.
A couple of things on YouTube.
And just as a thought then, if you want to get a pen handy.
Got one?
For the listeners at home, Jamie.
Okay.
Oh, dear me. Or if you already know it, make a note. And when you listen to these invests, if you hear anything, can you let us know?
Yeah, that would be brilliant.
And you can let us know on the email, which is info.accessparanormal@gmail.com, or you can get us on Facebook or Instagram, which is Access Paranormal Radio Podcast, and just send a message on either of them. Or you can get us on Twitter, which is at Access Paranormal 1.
Or you can listen to these again soon on YouTube.
Yeah.
Which is Access Paranormal Radio Podcast.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to catch me out there and get me to do it, but...
See.
Yeah. So we've got quite a few things coming up. We haven't... Well, we decided this week no interviews, didn't we? Because we went to interviews after interviews, and we thought, let's do something different. So we've done the binaurals investigations instead as a tester to see what people think of them.
So let us know what you think, if you like them.
Well, the funny thing is, when we were recording them, we come back into the studio with me, you and Lee, and we turn the lights off. Why?
I have no idea.
So we can concentrate. So we turned the lights off, closed our eyes.
I know.
None of us fell asleep because we jumped.
Yeah, we did. We did that.
That was the funniest part about it, isn't it?
It's a strange, I don't know, you could call it a strange sensation, could you?
It is.
Really? Strange experience.
Yeah, because at the moment we're experimenting with it, aren't we, to see how it goes. And so far, fingers crossed, it sounded really good.
It does come across really well.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're actually
in the room
doing the investigation.
Well, what's weird though is we separated, didn't we? We moved away.
Yeah.
So you sound like you're coming in from the left or the right. I'm the same.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you're in the room with us.
Yeah.
That's all we can say about that, really. Yeah.
So because as we're listening to them,
we get crossed.
You get confused, don't you? When you're actually talking like at that particular time, or whether it's actually on the recording.
It's a weird kind of thing to happen. We've done it a few times now where we've gone. Did you just say something? No, it was on the recorder.
That's right. Yeah.
Or
Lee's on it loads. Last week, didn't he?
And the funny thing is we're sitting there and we've got our eyes closed and that, and you hear something and you go, "What was that you said?" And you go, "I haven't said nothing. It's on the recorder." Or then when you do talk, you think it's on the recorder, and you go, and then you go, "Jamie," and you go, "What? Sorry."
Yeah.
So it is a bit strange.
It is,
but it should be good. Yeah, I did like doing them again, and we're going to do. We're actually going on a walkabout, and we're going to do. Obviously, we're still at Mill Street Barracks. We've got the studios at Mill Street Barracks, so we're going to be doing a walkabout. We're going to go right round the building.
Yeah,
and I think we've done this a while back as well. Where what we're going to do is we're going to stop in each room for about 5 minutes, do a bit of a call out, then move to the next room.
Yeah.
And we know where the last place is going to be, don't we? The cellar.
I suppose it's going to be down the stairs, isn't it?
It'll either be the cellar or on the balcony again, so we can get straight into this room. Yeah. So we it's a bit of fun, isn't it?
It is. It's good.
So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Be interesting.
And the funny thing is, the lights are going to be off. I know I've got a torch of you.
I hope I've got it. Oh no! I remember using it for something the other day in the house. Yeah,
you can hire mine.
So I hope I know, but just 1 sec.
Are you checking?
I'm checking now.
Yeah. Do you want me to keep talking then?
Whoa! I've got it.
Yeah, you've got it. I thought you were going to leave me to talk on my own. Then.
I was in my attic the other day, so I used it. There, so I was just panicking then. Because I know what you're like.
Yeah, I just wouldn't let you use it, would I?
No.
I'd make you walk around in the pitch black.
You would. I know you would.
Yeah. Well, I don't. I think I got James 3 times last week jumping out at him.
You did.
Yeah. I won't repeat what he said to me though.
No. It's not,
no. But Jonathan, what we're going to do now is we're going to go across to the classroom investigation.
Okay.
So please, everybody, get your headphones on, and as I say before, sit back, relax, and listen to this. This is the first investigation in binaural for tonight's show. Turn the lights off, eh?
Yeah.
I know it is. I'm moving over here. I'm going over here.
Wasn't you when you sat down over there?
Let me try it then while we touch on, because that was a bit nearly that, Jonathan.
No.
Nope.
See, but that's a no then.
Yeah, I think I'll move over here.
You can't do that.
Bloody well can.
Me over here.
I'll sit next to it. I'll sit in okay. I'll sit back here then. Oh, strange that it went off straight away then, didn't
If you're still there, can you make that ball light up again by the door?
Can I just say for those who are now listening to this, this is a proper investigation. Either things will happen or they won't happen. Now what's just happened is there's me, Lee Arnold and John Sullivan in this room. We've just put 2 cat balls out, one in the corridor and one near the door. And while we were setting up, we were just setting up, sitting down, ready to introduce this show, this part of the investigation. When the cat ball went off, now we've tested it, you probably just heard it then. It hasn't gone off since. So what we'll do, we're just going to do some call outs. So I'm going to ask if there's anybody here with us now. If that was you what made the lights flicker, do it again. We really don't mind. You don't need to be afraid of us. We're here with the utmost respect for you. If you can make the lights flash and make a sound, move something, feel free to do so. We're not here to harm you. Are you here with us now?
I think that's because the cat ball's going.
Cat balls flickering. Are you okay to talk to us? If you are, and you can make that ball flash again, please do so. We're not here to harm you, as we said. Goosebumps all over.
Me too. Just for the listeners, we've got these cat balls
All night.
up at the studio all night and they've not gone off at all.
Are you in this room with us now? If you are, thank you. Wow. Thank you so much for this. We do appreciate it. Have you been watching us in this room? Is that okay? Have you been watching us and listening to us? Let me introduce us. My name's Jamie.
I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Lee.
Are you okay with us here? Are you able to make if you can see me, and if it's possible, through that door there, there's another one of those balls on the floor. I'm sorry that we put them on the floor, but if you can go over to it and make that one flash as well, that would be fantastic if you could do that. We would appreciate it. Or would you rather stay there? If you'd rather stay there and make the lights flash again. Are you able to hear us or see us again? If you are, let us know you're still here. We do appreciate it.
Do you know who we are? You make the light flash. When you make a sound.
Are you one of the children? If you are, can you make one of the little balls flash?
Well, it doesn't mean you any harm. What you want to do is talk to you. Try and find out who you are and why you're still here. You must have seen us lots of times in here.
Are you able to move something?
Do you want to speak to us? Make that light flash, go near one of them little balls. Ooh.
What?
Make a black shadow in front of me then.
If that was you, the only way we can communicate with you at the moment is if you can make that ball flash like you did before.
Will you make the light flash if you want us to stay in here?
There's something in the distance.
No, I heard that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Will you make the little ball flash if you want us to leave? Are you interested in what we're doing? And why we're here? Make a sound or do something to let us know.
Feel a bit edgy, don't you?
Yeah. Definitely like movement of shadows, like in front of me.
Don't feel a nice feeling.
If you're here with us now, if you want us to leave you in peace, make the ball flash, and I promise you, we'll move somewhere else. We're not here to make you feel uncomfortable. We just want to be here and speak to you.
Did you hear that?
What was it?
Oh no.
No?
Can you make that sound again, please? No, it doesn't mean you any harm. You're here with respect. I just want to talk to you. Do you want to talk to us?
It's funny how we went off It's, you know,
Couple of times as well, isn't it?
were you watching me before when I put that down? Wondered what it was. Can you make the lights flicker again like you did before? We really don't mean you any harm. Come and talk to us.
If you've gone into the other room, inviting you back in. Please come forward. Come and join us.
You able to copy me? I'm just move. You're over there. That was interesting the way that ball went off though, wasn't it? I'm not sitting over there because I'm going to just move them, just see. See, it's not going off.
No. That door open.
Strange,
Yeah. If that was you what made the ball flicker, you able to do it again? Let me just get a chair and move over there. It was sadly. Jonathan's the furthest away.
Cheers for that.
No worries.
Don't know where you see it. I'm going to ask the person who's here with us now, if you are, and you're able to, and you stand near that door, can you make that light flicker again, please? We really don't mind. We really are not here to harm you. We're not here to disrespect you. And I say it so many times, we're here as friends. We're not here to judge. Are you able to communicate with us? Could you make any of the balls flash? There's one near that door. And you can see me where this door's closed here. There's another one out there. If you are able to, and you can you make them flicker, please? Or just when you go goosebumpy right through.
It's gone dark in that corner.
Yeah.
By that door?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there, yes.
If that's you near the door and you can see that ball, if you can just knock it, make it come on, make it flash like you did before, we'd appreciate that. And just for those who are listening, Jonathan and Dave, it hasn't gone off now for a little bit since last time, right near the beginning, when it went off twice. And we keep you awake there, like.
Yeah, sorry.
Is there anyone else that wants to come into the room? Anyone else that wants to communicate with us?
Can you tap on the door? There's a little sign at your ear. Will mean you no harm.
Can you tap like this?
How's it go, King? Corner of the eye moving down here, you something?
Yeah, well, I keep getting in front of me, to be honest.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's very dark there, Jonathan.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. The door seems a bit light, but near Jonathan here, pitch black.
Yeah.
Ooh, that makes me feel so much better.
No, it's like you
It does feel much better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, cheers, please.
Are you here, Jonathan? Are you trying to communicate with Jonathan? Did you hear that?
I heard that.
I didn't know. I was seeing it go really, really dark again. I thought, ooh. It just felt like my chair just moved.
If that was you, WhatsApp, that's your way of communicating with us. Can you do it again?
I don't know, I keep seeing things going past me and
Just looks really dark towards me.
I don't like that. Can you tell me your name? Can you whisper your name?
Swear to see showing me that whiteboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looked like the head
Where?
on the whiteboard in front of you. There's a table in front of you, Jonathan.
It's one just to the right of my leg.
Yeah,
And then there's one further in front as well.
but it's more towards the door.
More towards the door, yeah.
Yeah.
There's one up there, yeah.
But all I could see is it looked like an outline of a head on the whiteboard.
Right. Can you tap on that board? That's where you are.
Please communicate in any way you want, and a way that you're able to get our attention. Now, obviously, we put like a ball on the floor. I know it sounds silly putting it on the floor, but if you want to knock it with your foot, please do so. That's your way of communicating. We appreciate it. I know when we were in the dormitories or the bedrooms, one time we were there, you were able to communicate. If you're the same person, try it. Can you talk to us? You're able to? Keep seeing that corner of the eyes. Now you know your eyes are shuttered because, do you remember, John, when we talked to Chris Cannon and he said your eyes are adjusted when everything's black and white.
Yeah. Everything's black and white to me.
Yeah.
And ask again if there's anybody here with us now. If you can see us, and if you can hear us, are you able to let us know that you're here? Like I said before, we put an item on the floor for you to knock or move. Are you able to do that, please? Can you talk to us? Can you make some kind of light? If you can make that ball come on, what's near the door, make it flicker like you did earlier on. If you want us to leave this room, we're more than happy to if you make that light come on.
Do you think it's wrong what we're doing?
Don't you feel that they're doing the same, like trying to communicate with us?
Could be.
Well, I hope so.
Seems very quiet.
It's gone calm, hasn't it?
Yeah. I'm not seeing. I can see the white wall next to me. I can see it all the way down to the end where the door is now.
But before you
yeah.
couldn't, it was pitch black,
Yeah, it's
wasn't
pitch
it?
black, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyone who's only jumped, I do apologise.
Is there anyone in this part of the building that wants to come and talk to us?
Do you like it to be more relaxed? Is that what it is? Do you think we're a bit tense because we're a bit nervous? Is that what it is? If you step back because you think we're scared of it? Scared of you, sorry, not of it. If that's how you feel, let me know. If you want to talk to us, we're quite more than happy to do that. Like I said, that's Jonathan over there. This is Lee. And I'm Jamie. Now, we've been here a long time. We've been coming here a very long time. And surely you know us by now. Surely you know we're always respectful. Always will be. So if you want to come forward, you want to talk to us, that's absolutely fine with us. And we will treat you with the utmost respect. If you're happy with that, and you know we're here, to not do you any harm, or judge you, can you try in every way you can to make the ball flash? Have you used all your energy up? That's what it could be. We're going to have to go in a minute, but what you did earlier on for us, we really appreciate it. It showed us that you were here and possibly trying to communicate with us. But we will come back another time and we'll come and talk to you. We're usually in the building. When we're in the building, we really don't mind you coming to communicate in the way you can. Get a click then.
No, was that not good?
No.
I thought it was Lee's bone. You know?
No.
Jeez.
What?
I thought someone was right behind me then. I looked over towards you, so it was like, it looked like there was someone stood right behind me.
Right. Are you listening to us now? Are you okay with that? Are you able to do anything to let us know you're here? I know people come into the building now and it's great that people start to come back. Are you happy to see people returning? Right, what we've got to do now is we've got to end this little investigation or this little chat with you. But we will come back and see you again, we promise you. And if you can and you want to communicate with us, that would be great. But what we do appreciate is you trying to communicate, if you were, with the ball earlier on. So, thank you so much for letting us be in the room with you. It's funny, isn't it, Jonathan? You know, we pre-record these shows. We always have, and always will at the moment. Yeah. And that's the first time we've actually just listened to the whole lot, haven't we?
It is, yeah, properly, yeah.
And the strange thing is we were looking at each other and we could hear the bumps.
We could hear the bumps. We heard like a sigh.
Mm-hmm. A whisper.
A whisper. A whistle. Was there a little whistle?
Yeah, we thought we heard a whistle.
I
mean, we're lucky because we can go back on it and listen to it again. Go back on it and listen to it again, which we have done for the show.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed in it.
No.
You know, what you hear is what you get. And the funny thing is we were looking at each other. Did you hear that? Yeah, let's play. Was that you?
That was me.
That's all right then.
Yeah, I mean, all them bumps, like some of them like footsteps, some of them like knocks, which you clearly didn't hear on the night.
No, and you know, we're honest. If we don't say, if it's not there, it's not there.
Yeah.
Like when Lee's stomach rumbled, and he said, "That was me."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
If he hadn't said nothing, we'd have thought that was.
Yeah.
We couldn't have understood what it was. And same with the yawning.
Yeah.
We've left them in.
Yeah.
When we're not cutting anything out, it's left in.
It's what happens on Ghost Hunters, isn't it?
Exactly,
Sometimes you get something, sometimes you don't.
No ghost hunts are perfect.
No.
But listening back to that, to just me and you, because we're paranormal investigators ourselves, the sounds were just like, we've never had that before. Not to that extent where it was every couple of minutes.
Not that much.
No.
Really not.
So I'm looking forward to listening to the one on the balcony.
That was like super active.
Yeah. And for anybody else, we can't say what's going to happen in the investigation. We can't say about the sounds.
No.
Just listen to the sounds. And that was in binaural, as we were saying before.
Yeah.
So it was in like what they call 3D sound.
Mm.
So when you hear the bumps,
yeah, listen,
they sound away or near, don't they?
Yeah, I think how you've got to imagine it is you got to try and figure out where the sounds were coming from, but that should be quite easy with the binaural.
Well, you can tell where we are.
Exactly.
Because you were on the left.
Yeah.
Or if anybody's got the headphones on the wrong way around, you were on the right.
Well, yeah.
But you were definitely on the left.
Yeah.
I was in the middle a little bit, and then Lee was on the right.
Yeah.
And obviously I moved a couple of times. And that was to give that effect as well, to move and give the effect of being in the room. So do you know what? I keep looking out that door and it's creepy having that door open because it's pitch black out there, isn't it?
Just stop it.
But we're doing that because we want to see if anything happens while we're doing the show. And the funny thing is there was a part in that investigation and that me and you looked at each other. Like we said before, we had, we were editing the show, it's pre-recorded, and we were listening to that. And when somebody says, was it Lee who said, "Can you say my name?" Yeah. And you said,
I said, "Did you hear that whisper?"
And I said, "No."
Whispered the
so
name.
We played it back 5 or 6 times, didn't we?
And
there was nothing there.
But I heard it.
Yeah. So that goes back to when we're in the studio. And we've done it before where we've spoken about this before where it's happened over the microphones and headphones before.
Yeah.
Now, is that because someone's listening in?
Well...
And they're reacting?
I asked them a few times at night to come up tonight before we started recording. I did invite them up. We put the cat balls out. I put the two chairs at the side there. Yeah. So I asked them to come up, and chairs are there to sit down on.
Now, the one what's coming up a little bit later on the balcony, is just outside the studio where we are now. Yeah. And the funny thing is, you're inviting people to sit on that chair, the spirits. Now, I'll just say, because you're going to hear it later on, I seen a shadow. And the shadow went into the studio.
Oh, right, yeah.
And you're inviting them to sit on that chair.
I thought you meant you'd seen the shadow tonight, but I
know
what you're talking about. I know when you look at that window, and I know you're sitting opposite.
Yeah.
And you can see the movement, can't you, in the window?
You can see us. Moving. Yeah, you can see our reflections.
Right. But I keep seeing... As you look, can you see that, I don't know what you could say, like a white gap between us?
Yeah, I can, yeah. It's the reflection of the wall, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I keep seeing, dark shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you haven't told me this?
No.
That's fine.
But I thought it was you moving.
I'll tell you what.
But it's not because you're too far back, you're further back.
Tell you what, we've got the light, the big bright light on now at the moment, haven't we? Should we turn it off?
Shall we?
Yeah, go on.
You got the little one on, haven't you?
Yeah, the little one's on.
Right, okay.
Do you really think I'd be doing this in the pitch black? No.
Probably not, no. Right, give us a sec then.
So Jonathan's just going over to switch the lights off because it is quite bright in here. I don't know whether we're just being a bit insane on this, but do you know what? That's why we're here. We're doing a show. Doing the investigation. John, just turn the lights off and stop looking down the hall. Now all we've got now is a small ambient light in the studio here next to me,
Yeah, well, I put the door.
Now we can see. Now when we look into the
Now I can
the
see
window and the camouflage, you can't see the white walls now.
No, but I can see your shadow.
Hello. Yeah.
So could that have been you?
Who knows?
It could have, though, couldn't it? Because
Yeah.
I'm going to turn that big light off now.
Yeah.
There's a very big shadow on that wall. When you move your arm,
Which I'm doing now, just to.
it's your shadow.
Yeah. One big shadow on the ceiling as well.
Yeah.
But this is, this is, we no hairs and greys with us. Whatever we talk about, whatever happens in the studio or outside the studio, we will tell you as it happens.
Yeah.
It's different, it's unusual,
It is.
but it's good.
It is. It's really good.
And with the door open, I mean, I wouldn't do it if I was on my own. Then again, I won't be in here on my own after that.
No.
What happened to me and Sean Ken at that time?
No. It's only I was. I'm not going to be in the building. I'm the man's in this room.
But going back to that classroom one then, we know that classroom. We've done it hundreds of times.
We have over the years.
But are you comfortable now?
I am now, yeah.
And we've not had anything like that before. Not as little bumps, knocks, whispers, and that, and that's all recorded.
I know. It just makes you wonder now, doesn't it? Because if we hadn't listened to that recording, we would have assumed that it was quite calm and quiet in there.
Yeah.
We did get a couple of noises that we heard.
Yeah.
But most of them we never.
No,
and it does make you wonder. Over the last few months, we've had quite a lot on the recorders that we've not heard when we've been doing it.
No.
So, is that their way of communicating with us?
Who knows? This is the thing. There was a group in 1 week, and we were here because obviously I open up.
Yeah.
And they were in through the night, and they come to us at the end of it because we were recording shows, weren't we?
Yeah.
And they actually said to us, "We haven't had much tonight."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And as you know, the group's only just starting to come back. And he said, "We haven't had much tonight, Jamie." So all right, and he said, "But that's the way it goes. We've not, they accepted it."
Yeah.
And then we decided to do our investigation after he'd gone.
Yeah.
And that's the recording tonight.
I know.
What will be on the balcony.
Yeah.
And we got the bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to give too much away. And the funny thing is, we've not really listened to them because they were left on the recordings, weren't they?
No, we've not listened to that properly. We've heard the bell. But we actually heard that anyway, didn't we?
Yeah, and Lee heard it before we'd even started the recording.
Yeah.
So that bell went off a few times that night.
And that was early hours of the morning, so the church bells don't go at that time.
No, and
so
Lee...
it wouldn't be that.
And wasn't it Lee who said he heard the church bells going while we were recording?
Yes.
And it was after the time they agreed to not even ring the bells.
I think it's after 10 or 11 o'clock they don't go.
Yeah. And you were talking about
it a few times.
Yeah, it was 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that, wasn't it? When we
was about 2.
That happened. Sorry?
2 and 3.
Yeah.
I think it was.
So, it's full of surprises, this place. And it's every single time it surprises us.
I know.
We have been here and it's been as quiet as a dormouse, it's been silent.
It does. The only thing I'd say is it seems to have gone quieter since the groups have started coming back. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
No, but is it the energy?
Is it that people have come back again and it's zapping their energy? Or some of the groups have not been before, so they're not want to come out because they don't know them. I don't know, just it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
There's all them months that we've been here doing this, and all the activity that we've had,
and that's no exaggeration.
It's not, And it's not being... most of it's not even being called on out.
No.
So, I don't know.
Sometimes it's just been in here. I mean, that happened. I'll bring that up against when Dark Territory.
Now, you know.
Sorry?
Goosebumps now.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Well, going back to the Dark Territory case, when we had them in and suddenly over the headphones we had voices.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And even they couldn't explain it. Now, they're one of the top paranormal investigation people out there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And, you know, even they couldn't explain it.
I know. Strange, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, talking about that, and talking about Carl Hassel.
Oh, yeah.
From Dark Arts.
Yeah.
She's got an award from YouTube.
Yeah,
I know it's changing the subject a little bit, but that's just reminded me.
Yeah.
Over 100,000 viewers.
Yeah.
So
subscribers, is it?
Yeah, subscribers.
Views,
So Carl Hassel, Dark Arts,
right.
and of Dark Territory. Brilliant. Well done.
Yeah.
Well deserved. Work hard for it.
That's right.
And we're proud of you for doing that.
Yeah.
So next, I'm hoping Dark Territory get it.
Yeah.
So that'll be like a double whammy for them.
Sure they will.
Yeah. So anyway, we've talked about that for a long time now, and that could lead on to talking about daytime paranormal investigating.
Yeah, it could, couldn't it? Really, because I'd say 90 to 95% of people do ghost hunts in the dark.
Yeah.
At night time.
But there's nothing stopping you doing the day.
There isn't. If you all right, the main reason people do it overnight is because it's quieter, less traffic, so you get less noise. You don't have to debunk as many things. There's no reason why you can't do it in the daytime.
There is. I mean, obviously, outside it'd be very difficult in the daytime because of the amount of traffic, people,
depends on where you are,
noises. Well, unless you're in the countryside, miles away from anybody. I mean, we done one. Me and Marie done one. We went over to Whitby.
That's right.
We did. People might have listened to it. We did Goathland, the cemetery in Goathland. I think it was called St Anne's off the top of my head.
It's
Goathland, yeah. Heartbeat. Heartbeat was filmed.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody wants to go there, go. It is a beautiful, beautiful place.
Yeah, it's lovely, yeah.
But we were there and we seen the church and we thought, well, why not give it a go, And you've got to be respectful.
Yeah.
We didn't get a lot, but we had some strange things happen. We did hear footsteps.
I remember, didn't you found the metal grave?
A metal grave, yeah. What did you call it? Stainless steel or whatever. Sorry?
Something with your name or something?
Oh, yeah, don't even go there. Yeah. It was a grave with the same name as me on it, and we were just finishing the recording.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And where we were saying thank you and that for letting us do the investigation and that, we looked down at the grave and it was my name.
I know.
But sadly, it was a child. But I mean, that was done in the daytime. Yeah. I think it was done late afternoon or something like that. So yeah, you can do investigations in the daytime. Right. You just need to be a bit more vigilant because of the sounds.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, look at the electrician that day that we bumped into.
Yeah, at Mill Street.
That was in the daytime.
Yeah, it was. Go on, tell the story.
Well, he was putting the fuse box up, wasn't he? Putting the fuse box, and it was in that room where we keep getting all
with the cap holes
and the noises when we're in the cellar. And he said someone was stood behind watching him, as if it was just like, doesn't really matter, it doesn't bother me, and it didn't seem to bother him at all, really, did it?
No.
He said someone was standing behind him watching him. He didn't mind at all. He said he'd got quite a few paranormal experiences in the building. He was in here on his own.
Yeah, it doesn't bother him, does it?
It didn't bother him.
But the funny thing with that one is when we were talking to him, it was just through conversation. He didn't know who we were.
No,
first time we'd ever met him. And when we were talking to him, and he said that the person who was standing there, he thought he was a member of staff.
Yeah.
He said it's only when it turned round it'd gone, and he said it was only seconds. So there's no way that person could have just disappeared like that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't affect him.
I know, yeah, it doesn't bother him whatsoever.
He said, because we asked him, didn't we, about it, and he said, well, he was only watching us.
Yeah.
Which is, I suppose that's a good way of thinking about it.
It is really, isn't it? I know there's been...
and that was daytime.
That was daytime, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you hear all these stories, people, you do get people that say, I've seen something in the daytime.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Well, I a couple of weeks ago, I did see the shadow of a person up on this balcony.
Here?
Here. It was on a Sunday.
I wasn't here then, was I?
No, it was just helping out cleaning up.
Ah, right.
It was very early, 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. And I was in the main hall. And I was cleaning the floor in the main hall. And I was coming towards the balcony. I seen a shadow go past.
Right.
Like a shadow of a person.
Well, I mean, that goes on to another one we were going to talk about, and that's, do we see ghosts without realising we're seeing them?
Well, that's a good question, isn't it?
It's like you walking along the street, and people have seen ghosts where they look real. They say it didn't look like a ghost; it looked like a person.
Yeah.
Now, what's stopping us when we're going along the streets? Now, there's stories of this. The reason why I'm saying is because, it can happen to anyone. You walk past them.
Okay.
And the strangest things happened to me was in Liverpool city centre. Now, you're talking years ago now.
Yeah.
I couldn't even remember what year it was or anything like that. And I was going to a meeting or something like that in Liverpool. And it was when Radio Merseyside, and that was still on Paradise Street.
Oh, so before Liverpool.
Yeah. So, and opposite that was the hotel.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And they were knocking all that down at that time, so somebody will work out the year by that.
Yeah.
And I was walking through there, and there was a woman in front of me, and she had I still remember a black top on, a black dress, and like it looked like one of them at the times you used to have, and it looked like a little tiny suitcase.
Yeah.
You put all your business stuff in, and she had one of them. And so I thought, she knows where she's going, I'll follow her, because he built a barrier right across Paradise Street because of the demolition stuff they were doing.
Right, okay, yeah.
So I thought, I'll follow her, she knows where she's going. If she cuts through, I can. And as we got near the fence, she disappeared completely.
Where to?
Not a clue. But the funny thing is this fella comes across, taps me on the shoulder, and he goes, "Did you just see that?" And I went, "See what?" He said, "I seen you. He said, "I was watching you." He said, "You know the way people watch." He said, "I was watching you." He said, "And you wasn't sure where you were going, and then you seen someone, you started walking the same way as them." I said, "That's right, yeah." I said, "Because I didn't know where I was going, I thought I'd follow her because she knew where she was going. She was on a mission." He said, "Yeah, but the thing was, she vanished. I seen her completely disappear in front of you."
Oh my word.
Now, I just thought, the way you turn and look away, and then you look back and they've gone, and you thought, you've just cut through somewhere and I've missed it for that split second. And he went, "No." He said, "You were walking and following, and she just vanished in front of you."
Oh my word. Now,
I spoke to someone about that, and it was Tom Slemon.
Oh, right, yeah.
I told him the story, and he said, "Well, that could have been when they're knocking all the buildings down, like the hotel, and they're rearranging the road. It was for Liverpool 1, wasn't it? The creation of Liverpool 1." And he said, if you think about it, it's like anything, if you do renovation in your house, you can disturb something. So that's what it could have been on Paradise Street in Liverpool. So that was in the daytime.
Shows, isn't it?
And I just thought it was an ordinary person walking along. So how many more people out there have seen that?
If you've seen it, get in touch.
I'm already telling you.
Or if you've seen anything like that,
get in touch.
Time slip or people just disappearing. Just get in touch and let us know and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, they can catch us on.
Go
on. I can't see behind me, Jonathan.
You can get us on email, which is info.accessparanormal@gmail.com, or send a message on Facebook or Instagram, which is Access Paranormal Radio Podcast, or you can get us on Twitter, which is @AccessParanormal1.
Paranorm.
Norm.
Yeah, not normal.
No.
We're not normal.
We're not normal, man.
Now we're going to go back to what we were going to talk about, and that's ghosts on pictures.
Ghosts on pictures, and it's called...
You've got it written down.
Pareidolia?
Pareidolia. Yeah. It's like the thing where pareidolia is like you can make pictures and I've gone really cold all of a sudden.
I'm freezing.
Has it just changed now?
Changed for me a couple of minutes ago.
It's just hit me like a breeze. Just hit
and
me.
When
then
I said I had the goosebumps.
Yeah.
It's just getting.
Yeah, temperature's just dropped all of a sudden then. But yeah, going on to the pictures. These pictures, I mean, I've been watching on YouTube, where ghosts caught on camera kind of things and stuff like that. And it's interesting. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, they are.
And I've seen them on Facebook and a few other places. And I look at them and I think to myself, it's not a ghost.
Yeah.
And that's no disrespect to the people who photograph them.
It's not.
Everyone sees things different.
Yeah, they do.
And I don't want to disrespect anyone in that way, but some of them I look at them and think to myself, really, you cannot see it's either a gravestone or it's just the way the trees are shaped, or that's a shadow of the person who could be taking the picture and things like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, even these mists and saying, it's a form of a person inside the mist, and I'm finding that really, really difficult.
The thing with the mist,
yeah,
people do it with clouds, don't they?
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
You can make anything out of a cloud.
You can. So you can make anything out of mist if you wanted to, in the right.
Yeah, you can. And like I say, there are people out there who have captured stuff on. So what's the movement out there then? Hold on. If there's anybody out there in the main hall, or on the balcony with us, or listening in, can you do something to show us you're here? Do you want to shut the door of the office where we're in, or the studio, sorry? Do something to let us know you're around. It seems like you're listening.
I don't feel comfortable sitting this way.
Don't you?
No.
It's a shame, because I'm not sitting that way. Well, sit on an angle then, because you can always put the microphone on an angle. That's not an issue. So while Jonathan's just moving around, we are getting like some unusual things happening while we're in the studio. Jonathan's just going, do you want to move over to that other mic then, so you've got more of an angle?
Oh yeah, I could actually, couldn't I?
Yeah, what I'll do is move that mic away, and this is good, this, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. What about your headphones? You want to change your headphones as well? Well, while you're wrecking the place, I'll call that. While Jonathan's doing that, I'm going to say, if there's anybody here with us now, and anyone who wants to communicate with us, that's fine. If it's through the microphones or the headphones, please do so. If you want to make the lights flash on the ball on the floor, do that. Come on, you can communicate with us if you wish.
I'm back.
Okay. First time I've ever seen you move from one microphone to the other because of you're feeling nervous, but it's good.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Oh, I've just had a really rush of cold air go right through me.
Right. And it's warm in here.
It is warm, and I've got my jacket on, my Access Paranormal radio.
Put my jacket on tonight.
Well, I've got my Access Paranormal one on, John.
Mine's it's on my chair.
Well, we'll be going on wondering a little bit, won't we?
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to the photographs. What's putting me off a little bit now is there's so many appearing.
There is. I'm in a few Facebook groups for paranormal. And then obviously we've got the Instagram,
Mm.
and you just see them all the time, and it's like,
Yeah.
what you see in this picture, can you see this in this picture?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can see something, but
Yeah, and please, can I just ask people a favour when you put them up? Don't put circles around them or drawings around them, to make the picture.
yeah, the red circles.
Because I prefer it when I'm looking at them for have nothing there and just look.
Yeah.
And what I do like reading is I like reading, people's comments to see what they've seen.
Yeah.
And then try and see what they've seen myself to see if it's like that, that what's that word, pareidolia.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
If it's that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's I suppose it's quite an open subject, really, isn't it?
It is.
To be fair. I mean, people see. We've done it before, haven't we? Maybe they've seen things like that before.
Yeah.
And people do see different things
Definitely.
in different pictures. And it is strange.
And if anybody out there has got the same opinion as us, or they've got a different opinion that they can explain, please get in touch. We'd love to. We'd love to hear from you on any of the subjects, or if you've got your own subject you'd like us to talk about, let us know and we'll talk about it.
Definitely.
So, Jonathan, what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to the second part of the investigation.
Yeah.
So, please, anybody out there, if you've got your headphones, like we said, it's been done in binaural. Put your headphones on, close your eyes, sit back, and this is the investigation we did on the balcony. Let's hope you can hear the sounds we did. Okay, we've got two recorders working. We've got a couple on the floor. We're up near the studios here, because we've got a few things happening while we've been up here. So what we'll do, if I sit here near the stairs, Jonathan,
Yeah.
not that much, because it's like, you can sit down that photo, it's a bit spooky.
Oh, shut it. You fell in the gap.
Oh, dear God, we're starting to invest.
Puts your mind back in the day when he fell off the stage.
Oh my God.
Are we taking this serious? This is the second part of our invest. We've already done the classroom.
Yeah.
And now we're up near the studio itself now, because the balcony's been quite good, and you can probably hear a little bit of an echo because the main hall is just there as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of a call out and see what happens. I'm going to ask if there is anybody here with us now. Please come forward. Don't need to be afraid of us. You know we're not here to harm you. You know we're not here to disrespect you. If you can hear us, and if you can see us, you're more than welcome to come forward and come and talk to us. You've got Jonathan, you've got Lee, you've got me, Jamie. So if you can, and you're willing to do so, could you let us know you're here? And just so you know, on the floor just here there's a ball. If you can see it and you're able to, if you knock it, it will come on, it will flicker. If you're in the main hall and you're able to, walk across the floor, walk towards us, shows you around.
We'll walk up the stairs.
I feel that.
Can't feel anybody.
Imagine
We're using what 5-6 foot away from each
It's
other.
like blowing this way.
Yeah.
Couldn't feel that before.
No.
If there's somebody here with us now, and you're able to, come forward.
Strange.
What's that?
There's not even wind yet.
No.
No, just calm as anything tonight. Anybody in the building who can hear me? There's only 3 of us here. So you don't have to worry. Don't feel intimidated. Don't be afraid. Let us know you're around. Was it you making the noises when we were in the room? Let us know you're here. Can you do it again? Trying to go calling out, mate.
Is anybody here? Can you make a sound for us to let us know you're here? Could you light up the little ball what's on the floor for us? Can you do something in your own little way to tell us that you're here? You've been very active tonight while we've been sat in the room, trying to get our attention. But you've got our attention now. Can you give us a sign? You know who we all are.
Can you copy me? Are you able to talk to us? I've just seen a shadow.
Have you?
Seriously.
You come round there?
Sorry?
You come round there now?
Yeah. Do you know where the door is down there?
Yeah.
Right? It went across and into our studio, as if it went into the studio.
So you've seen it before, Lee?
Yeah, it was.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the same
When we
place?
came up the studio,
Yeah.
they heard the noise.
It's just gone off. Where's that light come from then?
What light?
It was
It's
big
dead
bright
low,
light and
and
then it's just gone off.
Just suddenly the light's just gone out.
Where was the light on?
You put my torch in my pocket. I know it's not my torch.
What lights? Didn't see no light.
Yeah, because it was dead bright up here.
Then the light's
Then
just
all of a
gone.
sudden the light's just gone off.
Wasn't the car?
No.
No.
Is that you just turned the light off? Can you put it back on again for us?
There's no light gone up.
Did you not see it?
Yeah, I seen it.
I saw it.
Because we were sat here and it was like a light down there like that. And we could see everything dead clear and then all of a sudden it just went...
just
wow.
went off. But the thing is, Lee, there's no lights on.
No, there isn't. I know there's lights on down the far end. They've been on all the time they've been here.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
The door. I said just sit back here innit, and just...
I'm going to ask if there's somebody up here with us now. You don't need to be afraid of us. You can let us know you're here. We really don't mean you any harm. Could you let us know you're here, please? There's something about that corridor, isn't there?
That's why I just sat here.
Yeah. It's creepy just looking down at some kids.
Yeah.
Well, it's just your mind playing with
No,
you.
I was like that when
the
me and Jonathan were there.
Yeah. That was quite clear. I definitely saw some like
Yeah.
a shadow move across as if it was
There
the
is shadows
studio.
up here because when I was down there last time, I seen the shadow shoot across here. It must have been like 100 miles an hour. It went straight across.
Well, if you think about it, it's not car lights because we know the car light.
Yeah.
And when this all of a sudden,
But it was dead bright, and then all of a sudden
you
it
know,
just
it's
went
like,
off.
bump, gone off, and there's no
Strange, yeah.
lights on.
No,
I want to know where the breeze is coming from because it's not windy.
I can feel the breeze. I sat here on my arms because I've only got a t-shirt on.
It's warm outside and there's no breeze.
That door opening.
The studio.
Yeah.
Can't see. Hold on. I'm going to ask if you're here with us, and that's you. Can you try and open the door of the studio or that door, what you can see? Are you able to come towards us, please? We promise you we're not here to harm you. We're just here because we want to meet you. And maybe you've seen us quite a few times up here because we're up here all the time.
Are you the person that makes the noises when we've been up here?
The
If
door,
it is, that's fine.
Yeah.
the door has opened.
I said that.
Yeah,
That
it's
gap's
open.
quite
It's open.
big. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got bigger, hasn't it? The
Yeah.
gap.
Yeah, it's that.
Go on, open the door. Push the door open if you can. Use our energies. Or use whatever you can to push that door open.
Come on, really try.
We don't mind. You're more than welcome to do that.
I've got that breeze blowing straight at me.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I've just seen that. Whoa! I've just seen, I've just seen the shadow again.
Yeah.
To the left, right opposite Jonathan, against that wall there.
Yeah.
It's just gone quickly as there's that.
Do you remember, Jonathan? That's where we heard them coat hangers
Yeah, cool.
in that corner.
Uh-huh. Are you moving round us? Okay. You know, like in the cellar, where you see,
There's the bell.
that's the bell.
Told you, that's twice I've heard that tonight.
What the...
That was the bell. Thank you.
It's all...
That was the second time I've heard that. Can you do that again for us?
Turn the light off so it's...
Can you ring the bell for us? We really
That was as
appreciate
clear as
it.
anything, that was.
Well, that is what I heard, and you looked at me in there, and
Yeah.
I said to you, that's the bell.
I remember you saying.
Yeah. That's going to pick it up as well.
Yeah.
Can you do that again for us, please? Use our energies and do that again.
Is it something distracting us from what we were looking at over there?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I say,
You
Get
just
back
read my
here.
mind.
yeah,
Yeah.
get back here and watch this over here.
Okay. Because we can hear the bell anyway,
Yeah.
can't we?
Yeah.
If you can ring the bell. This is very active here now.
Yeah, told you.
Just for the listeners, we're up on the top balcony near the studio. You've probably heard the bell like we heard it. And all I can say to you is the movement I've seen.
There you go.
You're joking. That's the bell, isn't it? What is it? Is it not the bell?
No.
It's in here.
Is it the other thing? What's standing up? I forget what you call it. The other tall one next to it, the gold, the brass
Oh.
one.
It's on this side.
But you can't explain that noise.
No. Do you hear that?
So is it not the bell? No.
Well, it sounds like the volume's over this side.
Nothing's trying to get our attention over there, or take it off it from up here.
Thank you for communicating with us in your way. Are you able to make that sound again for us? That's two clear knocks, so wasn't it? Two clear things. I'm going to ask again if that's you and you're able to communicate with us, we appreciate it. If you're moving around up here, we appreciate that too, we don't mind. We're not here to harm you or cause you any kind of upset. We're here with respect. We'd just like to know who you are. If you can show some kind of movement again.
Can you make that sound again, please?
Wonder if it's because you're watching, Jonathan, it's not happening.
Please come forward. Can I ask you to come forward? Are you able to help us by communicating with us in the way you can? If that's by banging on something, that's absolutely fine. Or by talking to us. Have you got a way of communicating? And if you are trying and we can't hear, we do apologise. So like us being here, is it nice to see people in the building? See, if that was something logical, it wouldn't make them too noisy and do nothing.
Yeah.
You know.
Come on, Jonathan, give it a call.
You still up here? Or in the hall? Is there more than one of you? Can you make a sound? Or touch the little ball on the floor? Come and sit down with us and talk to us. We've seen your shadow and you have made sounds. They don't mean you any harm. Plenty of seats by this table. You want to come and join us? If you're in the main hall, come walk up the stairs and come and join us. If you're already upstairs, just walk over. Come and join us at the table and speak to us.
Did you hear it?
No, what was it?
Like a ping.
Ding.
Again?
Yeah. Yeah, it seems to be doing it when Jonathan's asking.
Yeah, keep coming, Jonathan.
Come on. I know you're trying. You make that sound louder so we can all hear you. I don't mean you any harm at all. I just want to get to know you. And find out your name. Why you're here. So you've seen us many times before. You know you've made many noises. If you go near that little ball on the floor, it'll light up and the flashing lights. It won't do you any harm. Just to let us know you're still here. You do anything that you can do to let us know. Come on, come forward. Tap on a wall. Or throw something. Come on, use the energy. Can you show yourself in light form?
Just waiting for things to happen, aren't they? Can you copy me? Come and talk to us. We don't mind you talking to us whatsoever. Behind us under the
I heard that.
Can you
By
call?
you, sorry.
Yeah.
If that's you, can you do it again?
No, that would be.
Oh.
Can we ask you to come forward, please? Can you show us where you are? You've got no one to be afraid of in here.
Can you make a noise if you want us to leave? Come on, don't be scared. No one here that's going to hurt you. Come on, like one of these balls up on the floor. You've only got to tap it and it'll go off.
Is that you moving on?
I moved a bit, yeah.
Alright, okay. Come on. I'm going to show you where the ball is. Find these out. If you move this ball here, look what happens. Flashes on and off with all different colours. So what I'll do is I'll put the ball here. Oh, there it goes, so you can see where it is. If you can, and you're willing to, come forward and make that ball go off. I'm going to go over this side here, Jonathan.
Yeah.
And Lee.
Yeah.
So now over here. That ball goes off, I'm going to be back over there. Nice comfortable spot. I'm going to ask if you... Sorry, you're going to...
Come on. I'm going to say, come on, just walk up to that ball.
Make the ball go off, you've done it before.
sound. But can you make your own lights that we can see?
Please, the don't light outside.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I thought so, because it's getting light in here.
actually, it looks like it's going right. See, that fire, there is a light on now.
Where?
Yeah, there's the white fire exit light. That wasn't on before.
No.
Was it?
That must be the one what went off, Lee.
I was just thinking that when it goes off the
Yeah,
side.
so... Debunked.
No, because it's a fire exit light. Oh,
It's absolutely even pitch black. You see the light, don't you, Jamie, go off?
Yeah, definitely went off.
Well, it's back on again.
But is it the firelight?
Yeah, above the door, but it's like a white light, it's not a green.
yeah, it's
This one down here is green, but that's white.
yeah. That's an old cyclone, isn't it?
Yeah.
It looks to me like the bulb's a bit bright.
Yeah. But it went off when we looked again, and there's no light on.
It shouldn't really go off though, should it?
No.
Could be a false.
Possibly. Possibly.
So if it gets too warm, does it turn itself off?
I don't think I've ever noticed it before though.
No. Come on, if you can, and you're able to come forward to us, please. You've done it before, and we'd like you to move the ball on the floor, make it flash. If you can hear us, or even if you can see us, if you're able to communicate, you'll be able to talk to us, make a sound, throw something onto the floor for us. What was that then?
That was me there.
Was it?
Why do you don't see the shadow and then lights? No, the lights off. Yeah, you know where
Oh, by the door.
by the door, yeah.
Mm.
Just keep on seeing faint shadow on the floor.
Are you able to talk to us? Are you able to move something? Push something?
I don't know if it's something underneath the door. Or something this side of the door.
Please come forward. Don't be afraid of us. We keep asking you to do it for us. I'll ask you again, if there's anybody here with us now who can hear us, stomach. Please make a sound. Don't have to be afraid of us. There's something on the floor over there then, that's just me. There's a teddy bear on there. What do you call them? What is it?
I'll just see what that was. In the corner.
What is it?
Nothing there.
Gonna have to go soon. So it's your opportunity to come and talk to us. Come towards me, or Jonathan or Lee. If you want to, come up the stairs to see us. Or if you're a bit shy and you're a bit nervous about coming towards us, just make a sound somewhere if you can. Let us know you're around. Can you copy me? Come and talk to us. So there's people outside, isn't it, talking?
Yeah, maybe.
Is that what it is? Yeah. Just so people know. There's people just walking past the building and making a noise. It's nothing paranormal, we're just talking. Oh wow, really? Maybe that's them double doors then, quite loud. But at least they've gone now. I'm going to ask you again if you can, and you're able to come forward to come and do so. We don't mind whatsoever. Come and tell us you're here. Come and talk to us. Because you've got the last chance to come and forward. You're going to have to go in a minute.
Are you going to come and say goodbye?
You know when we said we heard that pinging sound?
Yeah.
Wonder if it was that light turning off.
Well, no, because the light only went off once and we had the pinging sound twice.
True.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
didn't
true.
sound as if it sounded to me like it was near the bell and that
Yeah,
from
that's
here.
what I thought. But now,
When I heard it sounded like it was this
yeah.
kitchen.
Well, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, because you haven't done the kitchen for a while, have we? Because
We
we used to
haven't.
get quite a bit of stuff. Door open and everything that way.
You know the balcony over there?
Yeah.
You know the very far corner
Yeah.
above the door? I'm sure I've just seen movements on the balcony up there.
I don't know.
You never moved then, did you?
No,
That was
not
down
moved at
there.
all. Why?
Down
No,
there.
it's down there.
You noticed it's happening when we're talking amongst ourselves.
Yeah, that balcony on the other side,
Yeah.
just keep an eye on there, there's movement.
Whereabouts?
The far left hand side.
Over there.
Yeah, just on the end of it and towards the window itself.
Towards the big windows.
Yeah, the big window, you know, where the office is and that.
Give us a wave. And say goodbye. We'll wave back.
I'm catching corner of the eye stuff.
We only want to communicate with you.
If you're now trying to show yourself, or you're able to, would you let us know, please? Let us know where you are. We're going to have to say goodbye now. We've got to go in a minute. But what I'd like to say before we finish is a big thank you for your communicating with us. If that's what you with the shadows and you're trying to get closer, that's great. We'd also like to thank you for trying in the main hall for making the sound. We do appreciate that. And next time we're here, then you'll be able to talk to us again because you know who we are. You know who we are anyway. We're always here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up this board. It's going to start flashing now. Turn it off. That's that ball. So as we're only around the corner, well, we're not even around the corner. We're about 10 foot away from the studio itself. What we're going to do is come back into the studio and we're just going to go downstairs. So what we'll do, Jonathan Lee,
Yeah.
should we call it and just say thank you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
again soon.
Okay, come on, let's go back to the studio. It's a long walk to the studio, isn't it? All 3 foot. That was 2 invests we did on one night, Jonathan, right?
Yeah.
And we were saying about the first one up in the classroom, how much noise we got and how many taps and things like that we didn't
Yeah.
even know of because we'd listened to it.
I know.
And yet again, we and you have just sat. I know the show's pre-recorded, and I've said this many a time before.
Yeah.
We've just sat through the second one as well and listened to it properly for the first time as well.
Yeah.
I know we dip in and out to make sure it's all right and that. And again, we had the audio,
I know.
unexplained audio, especially the ones which we think were the bells.
I know.
Or the
How
bell.
strange
Yeah.
were they?
Because it was like, I mean, the listeners, you must have heard it because it was very, very clear.
Must have.
It was loud.
Yeah.
And that happened twice. Now, we do think it was the bell.
Me too.
And then we had the light.
I missed the light.
Yeah, because me and Lee saw the light.
Mm.
And it was clear. It was like really clear. It lit up the room.
You
then
never
just
literally
disappeared.
saw the light, did you?
Yeah. Yeah. But
No, I know what you mean, yeah.
when you think about it, we saw it, me and Lee, and
Yeah.
you were with us and you never saw it.
I know, that's a bit weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I know we were talking about a little bit later on it, that could it have been the fire exit light?
I don't think it could have, though,
Well,
you know.
the fire exit lights were green.
It's green,
And- I've just seen something outside. It's not my shadow, because I'm just moving my shadow. I'm sure I've just seen movement right next to the door. As I looked up,
yeah.
seriously, Jonathan, as I looked up, it moved to the left quickly.
Well, I've not moved at all. You
I've-
can see me.
I've
I've got
gone-
my feet up and everything, me.
I know, when you get goosebumps all over you.
Well, I have now.
And we're going to go out there in a bit and do a little mini invest.
I know.
Because of what happened on the recording we've just done. We said, we'll do
I know.
another one. Now, what was I saying then? Sorry.
Oh, about the light.
Yeah. So, going back to the light again,
The fire exit light is green.
and dim.
Right. And yeah, and that was over the other. That's if anyone knows Mill Street, that's the one above the wooden doors
Mm.
in the hall, which is by the kitchen.
And it's on all the time.
It is. They don't go off.
I know they were saying there was a light went off and came back on again. But even if that light would have gone off and come back on
You wouldn't
again,
have noticed.
it wouldn't have lit up the whole room like
No.
it did.
You wouldn't have noticed it.
And then there's all the other little sounds we heard in between. Then there's a part where you say something, and you said yeah, and
And
straight
it's like-
afterwards you hear,
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like a
something like-
whisper.
might have been Lee. Yeah. No,
No.
no, it definitely wasn't.
You can distinguish, can't you?
Yeah. And it was a clear yeah,
Yeah.
like that.
And there was a couple of knocks.
Yeah.
A couple that we actually heard on the night,
Mm.
where you hear us say. But then there's other knocks and sounds
We've not heard of.
we don't hear.
So, all in all, them two investigations which were done on the same night
Mm.
after a paranormal group had come in and said we didn't get anything.
I know. It's...
It's like they didn't want to play for them.
But we'll play for you.
Yeah. Or, because they know us, maybe they've come out and they're trying to communicate.
We've said this all along, haven't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
And other people say it as well.
Yeah.
That it is because they're more comfortable with us, because they know us, because they've seen us that many times. Is it true?
Yeah. Now that takes us on to our next little bit of a tour.
Mm.
And that's time travelling.
Yeah, we were talking about this a little bit before, weren't we?
Yeah.
Before we started recording.
To be honest with you,
Go on.
the speed Lee Arnold drives in his car,
Back to the Future.
he goes into the future. He doesn't go backwards unless he into when he reverse. But he moved that fast the other week with me in the car. Honest to God, I saw the future.
I'll bet you did.
The only thing I didn't see was the lottery numbers.
No.
Oh, sorry, Lee, had to. Talking about this time travelling. Now, last week, Lee brought up the subject of belly rumbling ghosts.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So let's think about this. You've seen them on YouTube. I've seen them on YouTube as the photographs of people who they say are time travellers.
Yeah, I mean they've been on YouTube, on Facebook. I think they've been in magazines and everything.
Yeah, I know people are going to say, yeah, it could have been photoshopped. It could have been this. It could have been
They've
that.
been proven not to be photoshopped, though.
Yeah, Now, what I'm talking about here is, are some of these spirits actually travelling back in time? Are they from the future?
I don't know, they could be.
We know that they reckon spirits are from the past. They have to be, don't they? Because,
Yeah.
well, you know, sometimes, you know, like I said, I've seen that woman in Liverpool thinking about this, and she vanished in front of me.
Yeah.
Could she have been a time traveller?
You don't know.
It's another pause for thought on the unexplained. I mean, because we always say, yeah, ghosts are ghosts.
But are they?
But are they? Are they time travellers? Are they stuck in a different parallel universe where, you know, we can see them and they're just getting on with their lives like we're getting on with our lives?
Yeah. It makes you question, doesn't it? There's just so many possibilities. I think the most famous one is the man, isn't it? In the crowd. I think it's in the 30s or 40s, whenever it is. But he's got like 80s or 90s style clothes.
Yeah, and then there's the woman who this is a video. It looks like an elderly kind of woman with a big coat on in there.
Yeah,
and she's worn. It looks like she's on a mobile phone.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, like a little. Looks like it. They can only perceive it as some kind of like little flip phone, can't they? Because of how small it is.
And there's a lot more pictures out there as well.
There's so many. I mean, that particular set of pictures that goes round everywhere, they've all been verified. As not being photoshopped or anything like that.
Well, you don't see anybody slating them.
You don't.
You know, you don't see anybody, it's fake, it's been done like this and it's been done like that.
No.
Because there's no way.
No. You just can't explain it, can you?
Well, didn't they find at one time like a watch in soil or something? They dug it, or centuries-year-old something, and they found a watch.
They did, yeah.
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 So
there was another one. On one of them pictures where they stood in a crowd, and this is like Victorian times, and it looks like a Fitbit.
Really?
Type watch. Yeah. Looks like that type of watch.
It's got to be fit to get into the back in time, hasn't he?
Well, it certainly is, yeah. How did they get a watch like that back then?
Well, yeah, and it can't be explained. No. I don't know. I mean, I've never done it myself, but I can't get my head around it how you can travel to the past. But if you think of a star going through the sky, the light we see up there could be millions and millions and millions of years since that came off the star. The star would have been gone, you know, but its light is still coming down. I wonder if you ever got to that light, if you could reach that light, whether you'd see any kind of life, like like a video playing.
It's a strange one, isn't it? Really is strange.
So when you talk about time traveling,
it's not just like Back to the Future. Where
no.
Or like, I mean, there's been loads of films, isn't there? A Time Machine and all that.
But I think as well, there's always that one trendy person, isn't there? You see eccentric people now. You could have had eccentric people then. You thought, I'll try this and try that.
Quite possibly, but quite possibly not. Who knows? Really, who knows? And
you do see people now who like to dress up in the 50s outfits, in the Victorian time. Even today, you'll see them because they like wearing them. And give them a due, I mean, they were eloquent kind of clothes then. They were phenomenal clothes.
They were, weren't they? I mean, all of them wore suits, didn't they?
So,
suits and ties and stuff. And
now we take photographs of people wearing them.
Yeah, we do.
Right, and that's in the past. We watch films now, in the future. Different kinds of clothes, different kinds of designs.
Yeah.
That could have happened in the photographs.
It very possibly could. I mean, the amount of inventions in the last 100 years.
Yeah. Star Trek.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Look at Star Trek.
All the things that have come true.
Yeah, if you look at the well, it's not a mobile phone, was it?
No.
You know what I'm talking about. Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah, what it uses.
Like a walkie-talkie kind of thing. Yeah. Now that was a fold-up one. Yeah. And then years later,
the flip phone came out.
Brought the phone out.
Look Back to the Future.
Yeah.
With your hoverboard.
Yeah.
Your video phones and your you got fired on the TV or whatever, didn't he?
Mm.
There was that many things from Back to the Future that actually came true.
Yeah. So are we behind the times?
Quite possibly.
You know, sometimes, you know, people are wearing the clothes. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not a fashion guru myself, but you see people wearing it. Looks a bit out of character, that.
How do all these things get made? How did the internet get invented?
It was some fellow on it.
Where did he come from? Did he come from the future?
Who knows? And that's another interesting subject. We go on and on about that.
Yeah, you could, yeah.
But it's been another pause for thought. With you know, within the spirit world, are we seeing people who are time traveling?
Yeah.
They're not ghosts, they're time traveling. Especially the ones when we see them solid. I mean, I haven't never seen one solid yet, apart from the girl in the pool.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go on now, Jonathan.
A bit of local.
To a bit of local history, paranormal.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I know the lady who had the copy of the recording.
Yeah.
And I know the person who researched it, Mark Rosney, sadly not with us anymore. The man is a genius, absolute genius. Don't half miss him as well. Now, we're talking about the Whiston Ghost.
Yeah.
Now, the Whiston Ghost, if nobody's ever seen it, go onto YouTube and just type in Whiston Train Station Ghost and have a watch of it. Now, I've watched it loads of times, but it went on YouTube, I think, about 11 years ago.
Yeah, because it's the first time I'd seen it.
And, well, this is it, isn't it? You know, these are like local ghost stories which are out there. What it was is a couple of girls, I think it was Linda Mee's daughter, were near the train station.
Yeah.
And they were coming up to where the gates were, you know, the metal railings.
Yeah.
And there was it looked like a caped man in the corner.
That's right, yeah.
And he had his back to them, and then he turned.
Yeah.
And you could actually see his face turning. And they screamed, and they cleared off.
Yeah.
You know, you could tell by them. I know it's an old video now and everything else, but you could hear them screaming and what's that? And running.
Yeah.
Now, I know Mark Rosney and they were called Para Projects then, took that video and researched it. And I think that's on YouTube somewhere. I've not seen it yet. Right. And it's worth going to have a look for. If it's on there, go and look for it.
Yeah.
And I think one night, on a quiet night, me and you should go down, or a couple of us, you know, maybe Marie as well, go down to the Whiston station, spend an hour or so there and see. Because you're talking, 10 years on now? Well, 10 or 11 years on.
Yeah. You don't know, do you?
We've never heard anything since that day. And it might be worth just going down here and having a go.
You never know, do you?
No.
Something a little bit different.
And I remember seeing that. I remember watching that video for the very first time.
Yeah.
Before it went to Para Projects and before it was put on YouTube and that. Linda brought it along and showed us it all and that. And at that time, you're talking 11 years ago, technology was completely different.
It was.
Okay, yeah, we had the phones and everything else, but you didn't.
Smartphones.
No, and you didn't have the apps to change things and do things.
Yeah.
And you've seen the video now.
I know, yeah.
And it's pretty good
it's
stuff.
Behind the fence, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's behind the fence.
And then it comes in front of the fence, stands there, and it just looks like a dark shadow at first, but you see it turning and his face turning with it. And that's Whiston Station, that's down the road.
So it's local place in it, so I think we should go and do that.
We talk about Mill Street Barracks, we talk about other locations, we talk about, the locations outside the buildings where there's a haunted and everything else.
Yeah.
But we've never ever thought about that. And it was only because we were flicking through tonight and I went, oh, have you ever heard of the Western Apparition?
Yeah.
And you went, not heard of that before.
I've never heard of it before.
We had to, you know.
Yeah,
So we had to put it on. So anybody out there who's experienced anything with the Western Apparition in the last 10 years, let us know, because we've heard nothing from it since.
Strange.
And that video, I mean, it went a little bit viral, but it hasn't, you know, you don't see it anywhere now.
No.
You don't see it on, you know, Ghost Court on camera. You don't see it on anything like that.
It's before that time, though.
Yeah.
Before that.
And it was nice of Linda me to actually share it with us. You know, to share it and let it be on YouTube.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
So yeah, that's a good little ghost story there from Whiston.
Yeah, brilliant.
And I've got one from Huyton when I used to live in Huyton.
Yeah.
And we went on a ghost hunt. I'm not going to call it ghost hunt. It always sounds a bit strange. Ghost hunt. A ghost investigation.
Yeah.
Right. And it was, I think it was in Liverpool. And a friend of mine was in the car with me and we were coming home. And we get to Wilson Road in Huyton.
Yeah.
And we're driving along Wilson Road. And then just the road opposite. You can't think of the name of it.
Yeah.
Hay Road, I think it was. Hay Road. At the traffic lights there.
Oh,
and you've got St John's Road to the left.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about there.
Yeah.
You've got Hay Manor on the corner, St Agnes' Church.
Yeah.
And as we were coming up to the lights to turn right, in front of us we saw a fella or a person which looked like he had a rucksack on.
Okay.
And what happened was, while we were at the lights, I was look at him there, you know, and he disappeared. He walked as if he was walking in. I said, where's he gone? He was there a second ago. So curiosity gets the better of you. So I said to her, come on, we'll go and have a look before I drop you off. We'll go and have a look to see what it was. So we drove round down Graham's Road. I think it was St Mary's Road or something like that. And could we find him? No. And we didn't even see, it was just like a silhouette of him. Couldn't find him anywhere. So anyway, I dropped the person off, went home, thought about it, couldn't get out of my head for a bit. Anyway, a couple of days later, I was telling my son, Ian, about it, and he went, where was it, Dad? So I said, down near St Agnes' Church, St John's Road, that way.
Yeah.
You know, funnily enough, Dad, he said, I was walking up St John's Road, and he said, and I seen this fella on the other side. And he said, and he walked along, and he said, do you know where there's the old gate, it looks like an old gate, but it's been sealed off, and everything else, you know. Yeah. Do you know where that one is? It said the Fairs, I think it says the Fairs above it.
Yeah.
He said he walked into there, and he said, you know, he thought, oh, right, he's gone through the gate there. And he said, when I walked up and walked past it, he said, it was all sealed off. There's no way he could have gone in there.
Strange.
And he said he looked like he had a rucksack on his back and he went through that door. Now, that's virtually the same place as where we seen him. We seen him opposite Huyton Man in St Agnes' Church.
Yeah.
And he disappeared. But it makes you wonder whether that person, or whoever it is walking there, walking around, cutting through and go through that door.
Or is it where they lived? Where they used to go?
Don't know.
You don't know, do you?
No. Because opposite, when I'm saying about Huyton Manor, that was actually a lady lived there called Lady Carr Saunders. And she used to own a field called Perky's Field. Now, Lady Carr Saunders lived upstairs in the Huyton Manor, and she gave downstairs to the local youths to play and relax.
Right, okay.
To basically, you know, she looked after them and made them safe and gave them a place to go to. Now, could that person have crossed the road from there? Was it a ghost from there? You know, it's like, how do you explain that? I cannot explain it even to this day.
It's like the explanation of why ghosts or spirits go through walls, and why some appear to be floating, and they say it's because the building's changed and the floor might have been lowered down.
Yeah.
or there might have been steps or whatever, so it appears like that they're floating.
Yeah.
Or if they've got no feet, the floor might have been raised up.
Yeah, that's
Where
like
they
the Roman soldiers of York. Yeah.
So where they used to walk,
Yeah.
the feet are under the ground. Cause
Yeah.
when they were there,
that's where the ground was.
the ground. Yeah.
And like I said, then it was like the Roman soldiers of York, where that fella
That's right.
was down it. I think it was like a cellar or something, and the whole army of Roman soldiers went through, and they were all underneath.
Yeah.
And that's where the old Roman road was.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's the same kind of thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. And well, there's one subject we haven't got on to yet,
Go on now.
and we haven't really got time to go on about it this time. But what we're going to pick up on these conversations, because they're quite nice to talk about these different things. Hopefully Leon will be back next week with us as well. And we've also got a guest coming in as well. And we've got Neil Murray coming in from L35. He's going to come and have a good chat with us as well.
Yeah.
And do a little mini invest if we can.
Yeah.
But the subject we haven't had a chance to talk about, and that's travelling home through the dark alleys and things like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave that for next week.
Yeah.
And we'll carry on some more subjects. And if anybody else out there who's got any subjects they want us to talk about, feel free to contact us. We might even get you on the show.
Yeah.
And you can get us on our email address, which is info.accessparanormal@gmail.com. So yeah, please get in touch. We'd love you to.
Yeah.
And we've also got you can contact us on Facebook.
Yeah.
Access Paranormal Radio Podcast. And I'm not giving the rest out. Do you know why?
Go on.
I can't remember them.
Oh dear me.
Yeah, well, you've got a whopping big sign behind me that tells you everything, so you can get away with it. I can't.
And just to remind everyone as well, before we go, YouTube.
We haven't got time for that. YouTube, Access Paranormal Radio Podcast. Jonathan, we've got to go. It's the end of the show. So thank you for coming in, and we'll listen next week. Good night.